Pirate fans, welcome into the Sports Objective. I'm Matt Semenza. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about my keys to the game for BYU versus East Carolina tonight in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. What an environment it's going to be. Hopefully it's a complete sellout with 50,000. You're going to have F-15 flyovers and fireworks in pregame for the first time in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. What an incredible environment it's going to be, and what an opportunity it is tonight for ECU to welcome in the BYU Cougars, a nationally recognized Big 12 program with a ton of history and tradition, national championships, Heisman Trophy quarterbacks over the years. Just a great opportunity for East Carolina tonight. Want to talk to you about keys to the game. First, let's look at the defensive side of the ball for East Carolina. You know, one of the things you really want to do tonight is take advantage of the fact that BYU's quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, is young and inexperienced. Very talented player, but obviously young and inexperienced. And there's a lot of things you can do with a young quarterback, in particular on the road with heavy crowd noise, to create confusion. So some of the things the Pirates can do: tons of pre-snap movement, show one look, move into another look. All right. Mix up your fronts up front on the defensive line. 3 down linemen, sometimes 4, show different looks, create confusion. Coverages on the back end. Again, mix up your looks. Do anything you can to confuse him, especially pre-snap. Disguise your blitz packages. All right. Show one look, move into another. The Pirates have a comprehensive blitz package. So those are things you can really do against Bear Bachmeier to make things tough tonight. He struggles to get to his second and third read as a young quarterback. So, you know, what you want to do is make life as complicated as possible for him, especially on the road. Next key defensively, let's look at first down defense. You know, first down defense is so critical, and everybody wants to talk about third down, but with BYU's ground game, if they're able to rip off 5 or 6 yards on first down and put themselves in third and short, where they can lean on those humongous offensive linemen and that ground game, it's going to be a tough night for the Pirates. So you want to limit their yardage on first down to put them in situations where it's third and medium or third and long, and then you put the young quarterback in that tough spot that I just mentioned a second ago. All right, so first down defense, critical. Look, run defense is going to be a huge factor in this game for ECU. You want to contain the run. You know, BYU is too good. You're not going to completely shut them down. That's not going to happen. They're going to move the ball. They're going to run the ball. But you need to contain it. And when they get into the red zone, you have to find ways to get stops and force field goals. So bend, but don't break. And like I said, if you can force them into field goals, you're going to have an opportunity, a much better opportunity to win this game. So those are the defensive keys. Let's move to the offensive side of the ball for a second. Main thing I see is take what they give you. All right. We saw last week there was a willingness or a determination on ECU's part to run the ball against Coastal, right? And we all want balance. You know, balance is great. You know, balance will help you win games. But it doesn't have to be 50-50 split between the run and the pass game. You know, there's no rule that says it has to be 50-50. It can be 60-40. It can be 70-30 in a game like this, all right? But the Pirates have explosive players in the passing game. Obviously, quarterback Caton Hauser is in full command of this offense now. The strength of this team is Hauser and our wide receivers, all right? So we have to get the ball to our playmakers on the outside. Anthony Smith, all right? Brock Spalding has had a tremendous year so far. He's explosive with the ball in his hands. He has the ability to run physically, and yards after the catch have been a big thing for Brock. And then Yannick Smith. Look, Yannick Smith had 2 touchdowns last week against Coastal, but I still don't feel like he's quite involved enough in the offense. We need more production out of Yannick in a big way. He's an extremely talented receiver, and we've got to get the ball in his hands today early and often. Get the ball to your playmakers. explosive plays, all right? Explosive plays down the field. We have to convert the deep ball when we have the opportunity and it presents itself. Last week, we missed 2 or 3 deep balls against Coastal, all right? Didn't hurt us in that game. Against BYU, you have to convert those plays, all right? So you're going to need at least 2 explosive plays down the field, in my estimation, to win this game. So get the ball to your playmakers on the outside. Then penalties. The Pirates cannot let penalties derail a possession. We've seen way too often this year so far, the Pirates have been heavily penalized, and holdings, false starts have put them behind the chains, all right, and put them in situations where it's 3rd and long and just completely derail a possession. So you've got to watch the penalties, all right? Play a clean game from that standpoint. And then my very last point is turnovers. ECU has been fantastic this year in the turnover margin. That needs to continue tonight. You've got to protect the ball on offense, and you're going to have to find a way to get some takeaways defensively against BYU to win this game. So clean up the penalties, watch the turnovers, create turnovers. And I believe if you follow these tips I just gave, ECU is going to have an excellent chance to win this game tonight. But what an environment it's going to be in Dowdy-Ficklin. What an opportunity for East Carolina. Really hope that it's a rowdy fan base tonight and we get a complete sellout, and look forward to a big win for ECU.